Excuse me. All right, YouTube up and running. Welcome. Patreon. Oh, look at that. Came right up. All right. Well, Real Talk with Keith Motherfucking Walker once again. And welcome to Mindful Mondays. Some of you recognize that. If you've been here on a past Monday, the mindfulness bell, right? To kind of get us in the mood. So today's mindfulness practice, again, if you've been to any number of these, I use any number of guided meditations or, again, the mindful bell, breathing exercises. Today's version of mindfulness is going to be a mantra. So, what's a mantra? Basically, it's just a word or phrase that you repeat that you in a mindful manner. And so, I'll just share a little. Well, I'll tell you the backstory after we get done doing it. So, basically, again, all right, I'm checking the rooms. Now I'm going to stop for a minute. So the idea with this, again, it's a stillness of the mind and the body as well. So with the mantra, and again, I invite you, please use whatever language suits you. I'm just going with what was simple and one that I learned very early in my recovery. Again, more to the story afterwards. But basically, it's again we're stopping, right, and breathe in, and you just think to yourself, right, God is within me, and as you breathe out, His grace surrounds me. God is within me. His grace surrounds me. And again, it's as you see fit. A lot of people aren't hip with that. I've changed it myself as well. And holy shit, Thane's in here on time. Fuck, I better put on a good show. Well, I hope you're ready for a little break. We're doing a little mantra guided meditation thing. So, again, it's on the breathe in is within me. Its grace surrounds me. So, we're going to do that for a few minutes again. I'll stop talking. I'll just come in once in a while. And the idea is as you go through this process, focusing on the breathing, focusing simply on the mantra, but you will probably find in a very short period of time, your mind's starting to wander and all of that. And then it's bring yourself back with the mantra. So it's this practice, stilling of the mind. So join me. Let's I'll even ring us into the meditative session. God is within me. His grace surrounds me. The universe within me. Its grace surrounds me. God is within me. Its grace surrounds me. Okay. All right. Well, come on back. If you were enjoying that, as I hope you were, again, it's always concerning. Lunchtime meditations often put us to sleep, or they can. So, not really the intent, but so that's just a few minutes. So, hopefully, you enjoyed that. And again, this is it's part of the practice. It's part of, again, training yourself to be present in the moment. It is somewhat, at least, a quick temporary antidote to the perpetual bullshit machine that's the committee that's always in session, you know, the ticker tape of bullshit, right? Kind of going across inside your dome. And again, it's, it until we're all like seasoned veterans, like Tibetan monks on mountaintops for a lifetime of breathing exercises. I find, again, it's like whatever we need to kind of bring us into that focus. And, a mantra at, again, at is a minimal uh, influence on the stillness of the mind, for lack of a better way to put it. Again, if we're just simply sitting, lying comfortably, just focusing on the breathing and the mantra, again, it can be whatever your preference is. But um, again, in the spirit of that, with the practice of that, there is a reprieve. There can be a reprieve of the perpetual yickety yakety that's going on in between our ears. So, that being said, my introduction to that, which I'll share just because part of the story, right? I, as part of things that we do in the 12 step world, I remember being, well, I don't know. I was in recovery a little while. Had worked through, like, if you guys have been following the reading, right? Step 11. Had been through that probably a couple times over the course of time. And again, it's the 11th step talks about continued relationship with your higher power through prayer, meditation, and whatnot. And so, it was reasonably limited though. Like, I wasn't really good at it. It wasn't really impressed upon. But I remember going to this hmm, this retreat. I guess it was like a men's retreat, and it was reasonably small attendance, a spectacular place. Like, they'd rented this big cabin on the, like, river front. Um, very, very cool venue, and maybe 20 men, because there's the men's camp or the men's outing. So there's no bullshit. Women had theirs, there's a women's camp over there, the guys can't. Anyway, so there's no nonsense or uh, any of that. And it was probably like 3 days. And there was a guy who was like running it, and did he did all the presenting and workshop stuff. He was a big deal in AA back in the day. I had about 4 years clean, I think, and maybe a little more. But this guy, again, there were the topics. So that was one of the days. That was one of the topics. Um, was how to meditate, because, like, we're just a bunch of drunks. We don't know any better or any of that, right? And learning the tools, and so that was it. And obviously, as if any are familiar with, like, 12 step, it's all very much higher powered. God as we understand Him. And again, whether you dig that or not doesn't matter, but it was appropriate. And there's plenty of people in those rooms that aren't down with that. So, I mean, it's replaced with whatever. But that was very appropriate. And we did. And we spent much time that day um, practicing that. And again, it was the breathing. God is within me. And the breathe in. I mean, it's like, for me personally, it was very impactful. And I use it just because it fits where I'm at. Again, it's not a religion thing. It's just this energy, the universe, whatever. And breathe in is within me. Its grace surrounds me. And so as you exhale, I'm a very visual kind of, that's how shit works in my head. So that is how I kind of boxed it. And then that progressed, like, literally, it's more of a relational kind of thing. So I when I do that, or when I have done that, it's, you are within me, your grace surrounds me. And again, replace you with whatever that is. But I do that because then it feels much more personal and relationship-esque, and whatever. And I feel like I'm, like, in tune with that which is around me. And so there you go. As whatever hippie that might sound or whatever, feel free to, like I said, we make adjustments as whatever's personally necessary. The point of it, obviously, is, back to the point, is when I am there, and again, it takes moments to really get focused. When I'm doing something like this, or I'm doing a group or a class or something like that, I go through the motions. Even here today, there's some of that because I can't, like, I'm running the class or I'm doing the podcast or I do, whatever that is. And so I can't really check out, if that makes sense, and focus. Like going through the breathing exercise with you guys at the beginning of this session, there's still a part of me is like, check the inboxes. Is anybody, opening my eye just a little bit to see if there's anybody actually in the rooms? Like, am I putting on a live show or is this just going to be a video, etc.? All that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean that there wasn't some of that going on. But again, this is, and again, I recommend, group meditation is, I do a lot of it, but I don't think anybody really, like I said, it's just, I don't do it long enough when I'm doing groups um, to really get settled in so people are aware of things going around them. And again, that can be helpful again in the training. But this is kind of, you know, go hang out in the lawn chair or the mountaintop or in your bed or in a chair. You know what I mean? Kind of situation, and it's just you and your breath and your whatever, your perception in the universe. Uh, and again, to get quiet, focus, present moment, right? And yeah, so anyway, there's that. I But I will share, like, interestingly enough, um I used to have a lot more energy, shall I say, when I was younger, and things moved a lot faster, and and part of that again is not a lot of skill set in slowing it down or any of that. But I used to do this, like, this was kind of part of my nightly routine, and how I would chill it out so I could get to sleep at night and do that. So excuse me, so I would do that as I'm going to bed, and it was, I recall it just weird as fuck. um it was like my brain was pissed that I would shut it down or try, right? I'm like doing this, as I lay there and try to go to sleep, and do that for like 15 minutes to a half hour, and just kind of take that, like, use it as that tool as well as to shut down and then nod off and go to sleep, right? And um fuck, I remember just having the weirdest fucking dreams and shit on those nights. Like, it was, like I said, it's like waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and going, "What the fuck was that?" kind of thing. And it's like, that's your punishment for shutting me down when you went to bed, kind of thing. And here's some weird shit for you. And it was just like, fuck. So I don't know if it was a winning proposition, on any, because then it's like, fuck, now I gotta get back to sleep. Well, breathe in, breathe out, feel your toes, whatever, and trying to get back to sleep. But anyway, the tool is valued. It is worthy. It is effective, but it is an acquired skill. It is the practice, for lack of a better way to put it. Um, it's it it is. It's just a practice. I And again, it's just, it the mantra itself Doesn't matter. It's just part of the tool. There's a funny one. I know I do these, um, fuck that meditations and things like that. And there's one where the guy's doing the guided meditation. He's like, breathe in white light, breathe out bullshit. It's just like, I mean, can you visualize that? Like, I'm bringing in light, I'm bringing in energy, I'm bringing in love of the universe. All this shit is just like bullshit, And as you exhale, greet the world with a new feeling of fuck that. Anyway, um, so this is, again, just like any other tool in the toolbox, practice using it, adjustments as necessary, whatever you feel comfortable with. And again, I have, I mean, I can't even, I don't know. I can't, there's always something going on. I think I mean, there's been, a moment or two when I'm really diligent, which it's been a while, um, and just doing a lot of present moment work, focus, breathing, where there has been noticeable quiet up here, but I'm not very good at it. I really am not. And I mean, everybody's different. Some people need or want to do more of that. I, I mean, I do enough. Does that make sense? I do enough to keep me comfortable and to keep me focused and to keep me, again, where the knee jerk reaction much of the time is focus, like get present. And, but as far as just like shutting it down, I'm like, I got shit to do. So I don't check out a lot, at least at that level. Good, bad, or indifferent. But again, there's enough history, there's enough practice, and again, it's what is it that we're trying to get to? And again, it's just certainly earlier in recovery until we get really settled into it. Again, like I understand how this thing is operating just based on a lot of experience. And so, you know, when I start getting race brain, it's almost unconscious. It gets dealt with. Like I notice it, I breathe, I stop, and it's almost like riding a bike, right? Or it's just like breathing. Huh, breathe. And but that's only because I've been doing it for fucking ever, right? And but I remember early in recovery and the phrases like that. Again, it's just the race brain. And again, I might have invented it. I'm not sure. Um, not sure where I heard it before, but the bullshit machine. That's just what I call it. And again, it it needs to be chilled out sometimes. But as you and I both know, if we sit there and try to stop it, it becomes like the song that never ends, right? And so there is no putting the brakes on your brain directly. But again, noticing, oh, here comes the fucking race brain, and just being able to breathe in white light, breathe out bullshit. And again, over time, it on a good day, that's all it takes. And then it's like, okay, you're settled down a little bit. Let's get back to doing whatever we need to be doing. So, All right. Well, that's enough rambling on as far as that goes. I do hope there was something to be gained out of that. Uh, Let me know. Please jump in a comment box near you and let me know, like, what's your mantra? Fuck, I'm always interested in a new song to sing to myself or whatnot. Um, how it's effective if you are struggling. I remind you, whatever, Mindful Mondays, where they're always going to have some kind of something guided, meditative. It's always going to start with that. And, which I think is a great segue into the week. If you're just getting back to work over the weekend and you're on lunch break and it's like, fuck, you've gone from weekend stop to Monday madness. And so lunch break is a good time to, like, okay, stop, breathe, and then take that through the week. Cool. Yeah. A couple things to throw out there besides that. Again, gratitude check ins, do that. Appreciate you hanging out with the readings in the morning, real talk in the afternoon, and again, tomorrow at 5, regular Tuesday edition, Recovery Unfiltered, will be happening 5 p.m. Pacific. Again, go to YouTube. It's only on YouTube. Um, at Recovery Unfiltered dash 42. Go check it out. Charlene will be here with me. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about stigma. And so I'll be interested to see what she's bringing to the table right off the bat. And we'll go from there. It's obviously when we're talking about addiction stuff and stigma, that's like notoriously a big topic. So it'll be interesting to see who pops in and people sharing their experiences with that. I'll appreciate it. And again, tomorrow as well, like at noon, Real Talk will be happening, and we'll figure out what the topic is for tomorrow's Tuesday twofer edition. Once again, if you're viewing this and you go back through any of the history or you've been paying attention, you've seen I've done some interviews. If you got a story to tell or you want to share or, you just want to hang out or something of that nature, let me know. I know how to do Zoom and do like a split screen live screen on YouTube. Otherwise, it's call in. It's call in, speakerphone stuff. But I like the interviews. So do you guys, from what I've heard. So if you want to if you want to come hang out with me at noon sometime, let me know, and we'll get you on the show. All right, groovy. Well, hey, appreciate you guys stopping in and all that, and we will catch you next time. All right, so let me roll through. Got to shut her down.